Hey, it's Biddy Penny, and I am back today to finish this journal. So, this is a wedding journal, if you will, or first year of marriage journal that I'm making for my niece. And I know that she's going to write quite a bit and record, and she's not a junk journaler. So, um, I'm going to keep it classy, if you will, and I am going back through and kind of whittling down how much paper I'd put in it because it already had the alligator mouth going on and I hadn't done anything yet. So, the very first thing that I had thought of that I wanted to add to this journal was a big vellum heart. I wanted to add it to the center of the journal. And so I just take a piece of vellum, fold it in half. So this is the size of my journal pages. That's easy. I don't have to measure anything. And then I just hand cut a big, sweet heart. And I cut it on the first try. Yay! You know, been cutting hearts a long time. And then I took it to my sewing machine and I stitched all around it. And yes, super cute. Love, love, love. So from there, I also wanted to cut some vellum heart pockets. So I had gotten this die in a mystery box actually. And I remember when I opened it, I was like, score! I'm going to put that to use right away. Because I had already started this journal. So I cut a couple of these out and I also take those to my sewing machine. And I am going to add those to the first signature in the center of the first signature and add a couple of pockets there. So with this journal, I'm keeping it flat. Like I have junk journals that I write a lot in, and I don't like a lot of glued ephemera and fold outs and all the fancy stuff that us junk journalers like to do. I don't like to write in those. So if it's a writing journal, I really want to keep it beautiful and simple and one layered if I can. So that's why I'm just adhering that kind of stuff to the center pages. All right, now another thing I love to do is I love to add sari silk to the edges of my journals. So I had this beautiful, it's ivory silk, and it is like ethically sourced. I know that's a thing for sari silk, but this the buyer that I got mine from, that's one of the things is that they're ethically sourced, so that's good. But I just imagine that came from somebody's wedding dress. Like it's that kind of silk and it's lovely. So I added that, and then I have to tap my fingers to think, and then I bring in this, which this is one of my favorites. So I have a wall of sari silk. I'm not even kidding. I probably have 20 different colors or more and big bundles of them, but this is one of my favorites. And I thought it just went with the Mintay paper so beautifully. It's so soft and lovely. So I stitched that in. So that's the second signature, actually the signature with the big heart. So all this paper is paper that I've dyed myself, except for the tan paper, which I'm stitching on. That is just a tan colored paper, and I think I get the 28 pound in that. So that's the paper that I'm stitching on, and then I figured my hand dyed paper has enough interest to it that I don't have to stitch on it. Okay, and so I'm bringing in some more of that silk, but this one had some green seams which I felt were really interesting. And on this signature I mixed the ivory silk with the silk that I had put in the center signature, and I thought that was kind of representative of two becoming one, right? And that it was fitting for the third and final signature of the journal. I know when I reflect back on my marriage, it took me a little while for it to sink in, like, oh, my decisions affect other people now. It's not just me. It affects this person that I love and I'm married to. Okay. And I just feel like, the longer you're married, you become one in so many ways. And it's a beautiful, and that's what it's about, right? The union. So I had this little bride die cut that doesn't look like her wedding dress at all or anything, but it's just sweet. And so that first signature I imagined, will have a lot of her personal reflections in it. So I put that on the front of that one. And I'm kind of playing around with placement here, but I decided to go with it right there. So if you're interested to know how I made the cover of this journal, there's a part 1 on my YouTube channel, and you can check it out there. So I wanted to bring in this stamp set and use it. And so I'm also going to bring in with this my perfect pearls. So I'm going to stamp this with some embossing ink so that I get like a tone on tone, and then I just spread on the embossing, the perfect pearls. Okay, so this is a technique I like to do because I don't really have metallic inks. I don't know why. I just haven't taken the plunge and bought up the ink pads. I have everything else in my craft room. What am I waiting on? But this works for now. So, I wanted this to be heirloom quality though, this journal. And I'm not sure how heirloom quality embossing ink and perfect pearls are. Oh well, I only did it on this one page, so it should be fine. So it's Mrs. and Mr. Maybe it's my years of working for a feminist organization, but I just couldn't put Mr. and Mrs. Okay, so that's done. Now, here we go. I got a hot tip for you. Don't use distress glaze with perfect pearls. I'm reading on it and it's like, it says you can use it with lots of things and use your finger. Okay, cool. I'll try it. No. It smears your perfect pearls. It's not cool. I wanted to do it again to try to seal it, but I left that in there for you so you don't do it. Right. I grabbed some stamp sets from my stash, just really beautiful, classic, ornate stamp sets. And I put them all on blocks, and I just stamped all throughout this journal. Now this ink is a favorite of mine. It's My Favorite Things craft color ink. And for me, it is a great gold substitute. Like, to me, it looks gold when you stamp it, but it doesn't have any of the metallic, to it. So it's just, it eludes gold. So, I love that ink, and I wanted something extremely subtle, something she could easily write over, or put pictures on top of, whatever she wants. But I know when I open up a journal now, after having junk journaled for a couple of years and making my own journals, I can't stand a blank page anymore. So I like to have a little something there, and then I never feel bad writing on it. It's so funny, or, coloring all over it, or doing whatever I want. Okay, so I used this Altenew set, and I kind of made journaling prompts for her. So this one says, you make, and then on the other side, my heart, and then I could imagine what she would write inside the little diamond. So if you have a couple of big stamps, they come in handy because you can get 2 pages with one go. And that was nice, especially when you're putting so many pages in a journal and you're stamping on them. It's nice to be able to do that. All right, so I'm going to give you just a little bit of a flip through here. I kept it extremely simple, so I don't feel like I need to show you the whole thing. I stitched all of my signatures together, so all the pages in each signature are stitched. And then I'm going to come in with some fabric. Now, this is how I love to cover the inside of my junk journals, is I actually like to have fabric in the center like this and overhanging. I don't know. It's just something I did early on, and I always do it. Now, I haven't made junk journals in a while. To tell you the truth, I kind of had a sour experience selling my junk journals online, and I don't know, it kind of put me off on making them for a while, but I feel like I'm back. It is something I really enjoy, and I'm glad that I returned with such a special project for someone I love so dearly, and something that has so much meaning. It really is helping me harness the joy of this craft again. So here I'm just, because it's been a little while, I forgot. Oh yeah, I love the silicone tool for spreading the glue before I put my fabric down, but I made it work. And I let it dry overnight. So this PVA glue is absolutely my favorite when I'm making my covers and stuff for junk journals. It's made for bookbinding. It's brilliant. But I did let it dry overnight, and it does show a little right there, but I'm not worried about it at all because that's not going to be seen, and I know it's secure. So now what I had decided, I really wasn't sure how I wanted to bind it, but I decided I wanted to just tie it in with string. And that way, if she wanted to take the signature out and write in it, she could, and she could just slip it back in the book. Maybe that'll be easier for her. If parts of it aren't laying flat or something. I don't know. I just decided to do this, and I wanted 3 different colors, which kind of, I love the Trinity. I love the number 3. My husband and I were married on March 3rd. So I wish I would have tied my string longer. And I might actually go back in and tie these again. Because obviously, if you can't tell from everything hanging off the top there, I like long strings. And these were a little difficult to cut. However, I get it done, and I do like the look of it. And I double knotted these bows so that they'll stay for her. Usually I stitch everything into my cover and make it really like solid, and this time I just wanted something softer. I don't really know why, but I'm happy with the way the binding turned out. So now I need to make a front embellishment for the cover, and I go back to that Mintay paper pad and I grab some cutouts and I cut all of those out. And now I'm bringing in some blue raspberry ink from My Favorite Things. And I'm just going to softly add just the slightest hint of blue behind this. And that just made me feel like, I don't know, it softened it and it added a little bit of color. I really liked it. All right, so I'm kind of positioning things here, and I bring in this lantern, for a third object, for a third point of interest, but also like, I pray that they'll always have light in their marriage, and, that they'll let God light their path. And I just think light is very important, and so it's very symbolic that I'm adding this to the journal. Plus, it's super cute. So I'm going to take all this to my sewing machine and mess it up. Just a little. I didn't adore the way, once I was stitching all around it, the way the layout came out, but I still think it's cute. And hopefully she will too. So now I'm going to bring in some adhesive, and I'm using the Fabrifix and it's a permanent adhesive. And I had glued all around, but then I put a few like blobs of glue where I knew it wouldn't show, but I wanted some hold on there. So that is it, guys. Again, a super simple design. Just classic and beautiful and soft, and it's for such a special person. I hope she really enjoys using this and writing in it. I hope she has so many good memories to put in there, and a whole life of a happy marriage with her special loved one. So I'm showing here that these are pockets. And again, I'm not going to flip through this whole thing. You get the general gist of what I created. There's the big heart right in the middle of the journal. And just so pretty. Those Mintay papers were perfect. This, sari silk, just all of it. I'm really happy with the results. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it inspires you. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Bye.